Tip number two, making meaning. Now, what we're going to find here is the brain is desperate to understand what's going on. In fact, that is the primary filtering mechanism that it is going through when we encounter anything. It wants to understand what is happening. If it is new, unique, threatening, or of interest, we'll pay attention to it. If it's not in one of those categories, it filters it out so we don't even perceive it. So it is critical that all of our messaging leans into the brain's natural tendency to try to make meaning of things.
Yeah. So when we actually look at how people move their eyes about a scene, and the guiding thing that guides our eye movements is that search for meaning. The key thing is actually the locations of the image that will give you the most understanding of what's present. And one of the key factors that drives that is that we want to make sense of what's out there. So if we can't make immediate sense of what we see, our eyes will fixate and be attached to whatever it is we're trying to understand until we can have some understanding of what it is.
Great example of taking these concepts and doing something that is disruptive, that slightly confuses the brain, but then as it processes, it begins to make sense of the image. Now, if you've had Baby Bell, you recognize the pull strip as they wrap their cheese in this container that you can unwind, and it's conveying, hey, our product has a whole lot of milk in it. So what they're doing here is pulling you in with a slightly off-kilter image. Your brain is desperate to understand what's going on, and so you thought about it a little bit. And thinking about it is really the key factor here. Not only did you pay attention to it, but then you gave it precious mental processing power, which is what makes this ad so wildly effective.
Yeah, they extended their shape of their cheese into the shape of a milk carton. And I think it's interesting when we think about Skittles, the notion that what they've done is really smart and interesting. They've extended their product, which has the colors of the rainbow, into the notion of the rainbow. And that gets our attention and draws on all the associations that we have with what we think a rainbow represents and the feelings that we have behind a rainbow. So you probably remember this famous ad from Skittles where, if you have that idea of let's associate ourselves with the rainbow, you need to bring in that creative that can really drive home that point and make that association be clearly seen. That's what they did here.
Now, what's so great about this ad is it is very cognitively disruptive. From the moment you see this guy and he's got the flight hat on to planning of Skittles, your brain is desperate to try to understand what's going on in the ad until they get to the big reveal where they stitch together that brand narrative of it tasting like a rainbow. And not only have they got you to pay attention through making meaning and being disruptive, but they've stitched it into a brand story as well. And that's critically important because of the way our brain processes these mental associations. It's that context mattering that allows our brain to put lots more information into simple images that we see. For instance, the team executed these concepts against Rita's Italian Ice. They're trying to really create that association of an Italian masterpiece. So adding the association, adding the context of known Italian famous pieces, including Statue of David here with a clever leaf covering up his bits for America, allows them to lean into those already existing associations. So split second of processing, you get lots more information because of the way that we put context in it. And that allows the brain to make meaning.
Yeah, and it helps us understand how unique Rita's Italian Ice really is as a product.
Now, the brain loves to make meaning, and it leans into when it's confused. So these are some concepts the team did for St. Vincent's 119. It was a wellness facility that includes doctor's offices, wellness activities, a gym. They use that incongruence to get the brain to lean in. So you see somebody here in a workout outfit having blood pressure taken, or somebody in a cast having their nails done. And it makes you wonder what's going on, which dramatically increases the likelihood that you're going to process not only the image, but the content associated with it, because the brain is desperate to make meaning of what it sees.
This video is from our webinar series, and you can check out intermarkgroup.com/webinar to watch the full series. We're a full-service advertising agency that embeds a layer of behavioral science in our creative. And you could check out the information below to learn more about us and to contact us to help you solve your marketing challenges.